Hi everyone, James Baek here, and it's time for some more VGC Baek Battles here on this channel. Today we are using a new team. We are using Tyranitar Landers Incarnate Heat, not Heatran, Rotom Heat, Ferrothorn, Suicune, and Salamence. So, a friend of mine, Angel Miranda, he ended up using something he calls the American Sand Team, and he got top 4 at Athens Regionals. Yeah, Athens Regionals. And it was a really cool team. I do like Landers Incarnate a lot. It did get nerfed a bit since it no longer has Sheer Force. But of course, Sand Force does boost the power to ground and rock type moves by 1.33%. So I thought it'd be a cool team to try. This is my own version of the Japanese and American Sand teams. And I thought, you know what, it might be a cool idea to try out the Sand team. After all, Sand was an archetype. Well, it was an archetype that I used throughout the 2014 season when I was playing on doubles battle spot instead of the X and Y VGC rules. So let's get into it. Okay, Serg 10 from Mexico with a 1711 rating will be our first opponent today. That sucks because I accidentally disconnected, which not gonna help my rating, especially when I was fighting a 1500 player. We didn't even start the battle. But Serg has an interesting team of Smeargle, Amoonguss, Clefable, Talonflame, Crocodile, and Kangaskhan. I'm guessing that the Smeargle is going to have Frost Breath or something of that kind. There's going to be a Crocodile with Anger Point. A lot of redirection on this team. Where do I want to start? Pokemon that outspeed Smeargle. That's Salamence. And Rotom wouldn't be that bad, right? Volt Switch handles the Amoonguss. Sounds good to me. And I'll bring Landers and Ferrothorn in the back. Yeah, we'll go with this. Because Anger Point, it's an interesting tactic. If you guys don't know, Anger Point is an ability where if you get hit by a critical hit, your attack maximizes out. Sort of like Belly Drum. But you have to be hit by a critical hit. And Smeargle and Talonflame is going to be my opponent's lead, so that is fine. Sort of. We get intimidated off on the Talonflame, but we're probably going to see a Spiky Shield and Tailwind, maybe a Fake Out Tailwind. But I might as well just Hyper Voice and Thunderbolt. Actually, I might just want to Volt Switch. Yeah, I'm going to Volt Switch the Talonflame. Because it'll give me Switch Initiative into Ferrothorn, so I feel like that will help. And once I get rid of Talonflame, he really has nothing for Ferrothorn on his team. He has to rely on like Kangaskhan or +6 Crocodile. His Smeargle is going to go for the Spike Shield as anticipated. We are going to see the Tailwind for Talonflame. Exactly what I predicted. And of course, we're going to double target this Talonflame, get rid of it, because that will give us some... a bit of a momentum swing. Volt Switch is not going to knock out the Talonflame, but of course that Hybrid Voice will. We're going to retreat Rotom Heat, go into Ferrothorn. Because this Talonflame is goodbye Talonflame. Yep, goodbye Talonflame. That's goodbye Talonflame. And we are going to see my opponent's next Pokemon, which is probably going to be Crocodile. I could see Kangaskhan coming in. I don't really see much of a need for his supporters, like Clefable and Amoonguss. Crocodile is going to come out, no Intimidate, meaning it is Anger Point. Now the question is, what does he go for? Does he go for... Crocodile has a natural base speed higher than Smeargle, so this one, having Anger Point, I think would go Jolly. So he might just go for the Dark Void. Or maybe his Crocodile is slow and his Smeargle goes for the Frost Breath. I think my safest play is just double attack, even though I don't want to take a crit Rock Slide. Yeah, I'm going for it. I'm double attacking. He is going to go for the Frost Breath. It is faster. That does no damage. Anger Point is going to activate, so it's a +6 attack. Let's see what the Crocodile is going to go for. It's actually going to Earthquake, and that's going to Earthquake his own Smeargle, which I am okay with. It's going to knock out Ferrothorn. Smeargle is going to be brought down to its Focus Sash. But it's alright. It's alright. We're going to get a Hyper Voice off. That's going to do good damage. Knock out the Smeargle. This Crocodile is actually pretty slow. We're going to bring out Landorus. We're probably going to see Kangaskhan come out. Yep, we're going to see Kangaskhan come out. And we have 2 turns of Tailwind to burn. So I'm just going to Protect here because there's no point of not just going for the Protect. And I need Salamence for this end game because Salamence is the spread move. Salamence has the spread move. So Kangaskhan is going to Mega Evolve, so it's going to gain a speed boost as well as attack boost. Honestly, there's not much place he can go with Kangaskhan. He's probably going to go for Fake Out. He can't go for like a Power Punch onto himself. He'll knock out his own Crocodile, and that's not really the ideal position when it's your last Pokemon on the field. So I feel completely safe. Fake Out into Landers, and we're going to see the Rock Slide. So now I'm going to withdraw my Salamence, go into Rotom, and I think I'm going to go for that Double Protect because I don't see any reason not to go for that Double Protect. Because if I get the Double Protect, it will be a really nice reward. Of course, if I don't get it, it's not the end of the world. There's Salamence still. But this is going to be a close finish. We'll see how this goes because... I don't know. We've seen Earthquake. We've seen Rock Slide. But we probably assume Knockoff on this Crocodile. We could also see a Rock Slide miss. Landers does fail the Double Protect, unfortunately. We're just going to see the Double Edge, which is alright, actually. Gonna hit my Landers. That's gonna pick up the Knockout. That's actually alright because he's taking chip damage. He's taking chip damage, which is alright. That's some good chip damage. And the Rock Slide, Rotom avoids. Oh, that's a huge game changer. Game changer. We're gonna bring out Salamence. Yeah, it would have came down to probably Crocodile and Kangaskhan versus Salamence. We would have probably seen a, I don't know, maybe this Crocodile would have Protect and Salamence goes for the Double Edge. But if he doesn't have Protect, it could have gone a different way. I'm just going to Thunderbolt the Kangaskhan and go for the Hyper Voice. This should pick up the Knockout onto Kangaskhan if I remember correctly from damage calcs. And even if it doesn't, I mean, I think a Double Edge Recoil will knock himself out. And luckily the Tailwind petered out, so now we are definitely faster than that Crocodile. And we are definitely faster than the Kangaskhan with a Scarf Rotom and a... Oh, Crocodile does have Protect. Okay, so we would have probably actually lost if it wasn't for that Rock Slide Void. Kangaskhan opting for the Sucker Punch, though, onto Salamence. Not sure that's the right play. I think you have to go for that Double Edge for the damage. We're going to get a Thunderbolt off onto the Kangaskhan. That's going to do a really good amount. We're going to get a Hyper Voice off onto the Kangaskhan. That will pick up the Knockout. Yeah, Kangaskhan was not living. And this Crocodile, well, if it could dodge a Hyper Voice, he would win because I'm Scarfed into Thunderbolt. But that is not the case, is it? We're going to get a Hyper Voice. And we're going to pick up a win that we probably shouldn't have won. But the strategy isn't really that viable in VGC just because priority is a huge thing in VGC, so you should, and Crocodile is not exactly the bulkiest Pokemon in the world, so you could probably take it out with some normal priority. I just don't have any on this team. If we had Escadrille, the game probably would have changed because Sand Rush would have probably allowed us to outspeed that Crocodile because it was slower than the Smeargle. But anyway, we're going to find the second battle, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, Kasira with a rating of 1673 from the United States will be our second opponent today. And we're going to see the Japanese Sand team. And this is the actual version with Azumarill. Amoonguss, Azumarill, Salamence, Escadrille, Tyranitar, and Edgeslash. So it'll be Japanese Sand versus American Sand. And I really favor my position because Escadrille, once I knock out that Salamence... Well, I don't remember the Tyranitar carried Fire Punch. I don't think it did. I think it carried Superpower or Low Kick. It was one of those two. So getting rid of Salamence will definitely be a huge key. Don't know what my opponent would want to lead. I think Landorus is a very safe lead. I think it's a really nice lead. I think Rotom. I think Salamence and Ferrothorn in the back. But Suicune could really do work here. Do I need Rotom? That's the question. I'm kind of considering to opt out of Rotom. It does have the Scarf Hidden Power Ice. That's good against the Salamence. You know what? We'll keep Rotom. We're going to go Salamence for Offline. The reason I'm not bringing Suicune is because my Sand team isn't really that weak to opposing Sands, Tyranitar, and Escadrille. So I don't think it's really necessary to bring it. And I don't think my opponent will bring it either. So we're going to see... it's a Amoonguss. I knew this lead was coming. Against Rotom and Landorus. Oh man, I knew this lead was coming. I should have left for Alphorn. Then again, we don't know what kind of Azumarill this is. This could... The original team had Assault Vest. So, I don't know. I think it's really obvious to go for the Overheat onto Amoonguss. I kind of just want to Volt Switch and Hidden Power. Maybe Earth Power Volt Switch. You know what? I'm going to Volt Switch and just hope it works. Zuma's going to Protect. Did he double Protect just to Scout? No, he didn't. Excellent play. Excellent play. But does that did confirm some suspicion. So now we learn that the Azumarill is not Assault Vest, so it's most likely Belly Drum, and that's going to be quite a problem. Rage Power is going to come out from Amoonguss. We're probably going to see Rage Power and Belly Drum. Not much I can really do to stop that, though. We're going to get a Volt Switch off onto this Amoonguss. Not doing much damage, unfortunately. As we're going to retreat Rotom and go into our Ferrothorn. Because Ferrothorn can take a Waterfall if the Azumarill decides to go for it, but we're probably going to see the Belly Drum. Landorus is going to take its first turn to Guaranteed Sleep. Let's see what the Azumarill goes for. It does try to set up that Belly Drum. This is going to be a problem. I was not expecting that Protect. I guess it did make sense. I mean, the play he did, in case my Rotom with safety goggles, he made an excellent play. He went for the Spore on the Landorus. So now I think I'm just gonna... Maybe I should have just Thunderbolted the Azumarill because that would have scared him. Volt Switch was obvious. It made me a Choice Scarf user. So 2 plays my opponent can make, and I'm really thinking he's gonna switch out the Amoonguss into Salamence and protect Amoonguss this turn. So I'm going to Hidden Power the Amoonguss, and I'm actually just going to go straight for the Power Whip. He is going to withdraw Amoonguss. If this is Landorus, this will be huge for us. Salamence is going to come out. Now, did Azumarill protect? That's the question. And does Landorus wake up? If this works, Azumarill just goes straight for the Aqua Jet. Excellent play by my opponent. However, if a Power Whip does connect, it's going to do a lot of damage to this Azumarill. And I mean a lot of damage. We do connect. And if we knock it out, that's a huge knockout. Barely. But we do get to bring out our own Salamence. And the Japanese Sand team is focused around using Dragon Pulse instead of the Draco Meteor, which doesn't usually KO regular Mega Salamence. So I'm going to Hyper Voice here. Do I protect? That's the question. He might also go for the Fire Blast. He also might just sack Azumarill. He might just Aqua Jet and protect. I could see that. But you know what? I'm just going to go for a safe Protect with Ferrothorn. I don't want to take a Hyper Voice. So the Salamence is going to Mega Evolve first, so that means he's faster, unfortunately. I forgot that I don't run max speed on my Salamence. And that might be a miscalculation on my part. We are going to Mega Evolve with Salamence, so that's at least decent. Ferrothorn's going to Protect. No Protects coming out from the Azumarill or the opposing Salamence. We're going to see Flamethrower into the Ferrothorn, and we do get a Hyper Voice off, and that's huge. That does good damage against the Salamence, and Azumarill is going to go down, and that's a huge threat out of the way. We're probably going to see the Amoonguss come out. Or we could see my opponent's last Pokemon, Aegislash. I'm actually really happy about this. Don't know what my opponent's going to decide to do. He might just flamethrower the Edge of Slash and Shadow Ball. He could wide guard possibly. But my safest play is to protect Farafon and switch out into Rotom to take a flamethrower. And Rotom should take a Shadow Ball, and then the next turn I can Hidden Power Ice the Salamence and Hyper Voice. I could also overheat the Edge of Slash. I'm just in such a good position right now if I can get Rotom Heat in for free. And he doesn't know that I'm max speed Timid Salamence, so he might be scared. He also might have Dragon Pulse instead of Draco Meteor, or he might not even have a Dragon type move. He's going to actually withdraw the Salamence, so that's indicating to me that he doesn't have a Dragon type move. Moongus is going to come out, which is alright, because we have Rotom coming out. And we're going to protect Salamence. Does Edgeslash try to go for King Shield? Does it go on the offensive here? Onto the Salamence, I would believe, if he doesn't have a spread move. Shadow Ball into the Salamence. That's exactly what I wanted. Now, I think my opponent has to double protect here. I really think he has to double protect. Because if I overheat the Edgeslash, it's game over for him. I could just double Fire Blast the Amoonguss. I kind of want to Hidden Power Ice though, but I think I'm going to go for the Overheat and Fire Blast. Of course, Edgeslash can both switch out and Amoonguss can protect. That's another play I am considering. But I'm not really that scared of the Salamence anymore now that I pretty much have figured out it's not having... Well, it probably doesn't carry a Dragon type move. I'm guessing it's carrying a Double Edge and Hyper Voice and Flamethrower Protect set. Because if he had a Dragon type move, I think you'd go for it there when he's pulled the switch out. So he's not going to protect either Pokemon. We're going to get an Overheat off onto this Amoonguss. If Hyper Voice not Hyper Voice, Fire Blast connects, this will be really huge. Fire Blast does connect with the Amoonguss, and that should seal up the game for us. Amoonguss is going to go down. And Edgeslash is going to go for Shadow Ball. Let's see, onto Salamence, I'm guessing. Yep, it's onto Salamence. And it's Life Orb Edgeslash. So my opponent's going to send out his Salamence. Right here, I'm just going to protect Salamence. We're probably just going to see Hyper Voice. I think Farafon can take a Hyper Voice. And Edgeslash is probably just going to King Shield just to be safe. So we're going to bring out Farafon and protect Salamence. It's a nice safe play. A nice safe play. Oh wow, he doesn't even protect with Edgeslash. Bold move, but if he knocks out the Farafon, I'll be in a really good shape. Critical hit actually even. Shadow Ball going to connect with the Farafon. That's actually really good. That's actually really good that he got that crit. Normally players would be complaining, but I am not complaining. I'm going to send out Rotom here. And... He knows how to target one or the other. So I'm going to Fire Blast the Edgeslash. I'm going to Hidden Power. We're probably going to see a Protect just to scout. Edgeslash is going to King Shield, but the Salamence is not going for Protect, which means I do get the Hidden Power Ice off onto the Salamence, which is huge. We do get the Hidden Power off. This is going to do good damage to the Salamence and pick up the Knockout, which is what I wanted. That's really what I wanted. We're going to get Fire Blast into the King Shield, and now we're just going to go for chip damage. We're going to protect Salamence, and we're just going to Hidden Power Ice this Edgeslash. Because if he targets Rotom, he's going to take Life Orb damage, and that's kind of what I want him to do. And if he attacks Salamence, he just gets baited into Blade Form and has to go for King Shield next turn. We're going to get a Hidden Power off onto this Edgeslash. Now, if this has Substitute, this actually might be an issue. But no, P is going to stand exchange. He's just going to go for that Shadow Ball into the Rotom. Alright, that's actually fine. He takes more damage. We're going to go for that Fire Blast. Then again, he'll probably predict that. So I'm just going to go for the Hyper Voice and the Hidden Power. Because there's no point of wasting PP right now. There's really no point of wasting PP right now. Aegislash is going to King Shield. We're going to Hidden Power. We're going to Fire Blast. Well, Hyper Voice actually, since we don't want to waste PP. We'll just go for a Fire Blast now. I think it might be in Fire Blast range. And we'll Hidden Power. And even if Fire Blast doesn't knock it out, I feel like Life Orb will. So it should be a win-win. Unless I missed a Fire Blast, that will be a game changer. He might also just go for the Rotom, and that would be a huge mistake on his part. But overall, I think this is an alright play. It really depends. That, for forward, might have been nice in the game, but in momentum-wise, I think it was better that it actually did get knocked out because of the critical hit, Hyper Voice, and the Shadow Ball. So, I don't know. I feel like that crit actually hurt my opponent more than me. We're going to get Hidden Power off onto the Aegislash. Doing alright chip damage. I think Fire Blast might knock it out. We are going to connect. That's a huge connect. Aegislash barely misses the KO, but the Life Orb will knock out the Aegislash unless he has Rock Slide. But nope, he's just going to go for the Shadow Ball into the Salamence. That's going to knock out my Salamence, but now your Aegislash is going to be knocked out to the Life Orb. So American Sand will be dominating today's episode against the Japanese Sand team, but I think it was really good. Unfortunately, we did not get to show off Landorus Incarnate at all. We never got to even bring Tyranitar. But overall, I think the team was very successful. I did try it out a few times before making the team, and I think it worked out pretty well. I think I really put a really solid core into this team. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, please be sure to leave a like to support the series. Check out my other series, and I'll be streaming on twitch.tv/JamesBeat1. I'll probably be streaming a few streams with this Sand team tomorrow, probably, yes. Friday, maybe. Saturday, I don't know. Depends on my schedule, but yeah, I'll probably be streaming with the Sand team. And if you guys haven't, check out those streams. We have a blast, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.